everybody, welcome to another RodzSquad Retro Reviews. We're going to go ahead and continue our 32X gameplay. This time we're going to be playing the Afterburner Complete for the 32X. So I have everything hooked up to the Frankenstein's monster, the Sega's Frankenstein's monster. And we're going to go ahead and play some Afterburner. I'm going to give my thoughts on it. It's actually a really fun game. I definitely want to go ahead and give this all the attention that it needs because it's such a difficult game. It's fast paced. If you ever played Afterburner, you should know that. But if you haven't, I hope that I can introduce this great game to you. It's actually a series, so this is actually part 2. So
part 3.
It says part 2,
oh.
Complete. And we're gonna go ahead and play. So let's hit some Afterburner. Huh? Alright, we're going to go ahead and play some Afterburner on the 32X. I've always enjoyed Afterburner, especially in the arcade. You remember back in the arcade, they actually had...
It actually moved up and down.
Yeah, actually...
The shots and everything.
You know what's famous? The movie, Terminator 2. Remember that? Yes. Terminator 2 actually had that scene when the bad Terminator was looking for Connor. Yes. His friend, I mean, he was actually in the Afterburner game.
Yeah, that's true.
He was in the Afterburner game. Fun, fast-paced, just going crazy, blasting video game. I can see how a lot of people do get headaches playing this, to be honest.
It's too fast. It gives me a headache.
Well, I can really see that. I mean, to be honest, it's just so fast, and then with the looping. But graphically, you gotta admit, the 32X does bring it out really nice. You know what's really disappointing to me is that we actually picked up this the Afterburner 3 for the Sega CD, and completely fails in comparison to this.
Yeah, this one's better.
That one, it looks like they changed it a bit because they made it in a cockpit type view. Yeah. They had a cockpit view, and they also had this back view where you could actually see your plane, but it wasn't. I don't know. It was something about the screen. It just didn't fit correctly in there. I know why you like this game because you're a big fan of Mr.
Top Gun, baby.
Mr. Tom Cruise.
That's right.
And his character's name was
Maverick. This reminds me of Top Gun, but I can't play it too much. It gives me a headache.
I mean, I'm a big fan of it. I really enjoyed it playing in the arcade, but I gotta admit, playing it in the arcade did not give me. I just felt that movement was just throwing the gameplay off to me. But you know, playing it here at home, I mean, with the Sega Genesis controller, I can play it. I mean, I think I can play it a little bit better. Is there a flight stick for the Genesis?
I don't know.
I don't recall. I gotta look into that because I love getting the accessories. I've never noticed that. I mean, I know.
I don't think there is one.
I know.
Look into that,
yeah, that's something I really, because I mean, I can actually play this in the arcade mode with the modded Xbox that we have, because we actually have this game in it, and I have an arcade stick with it, and for some reason, you know what? Now it's dawning on me. I haven't even tried it. Isn't that crazy?
That's because you got this 32 baby sitting right here.
Well, we picked this up recently because we went to Florida.
Yeah.
Now we've had 32X, and we've had the trifecta for some time. We call it the Sega Frankenstein's monster, but we've had it for some time, but we always like to have an extra backup console.
We have to go and find it again.
So in Florida, we stopped by our buddies.
Braulio.
Right, over at Royal Empire Gaming. Gonna always give them a shout out. All of our buddies that we go to, the different video game retro shops that we go to, we will always say, support your local retro shops because GameStop sucks.
Yep.
Not a GameStop fan under no circumstances, especially when they're always trying to like pressure you to buy different things.
And then they sell you defective things, and you have to take it back 3 or 4 times. It's ridiculous.
Well, on top of that, they're always trying to sell you that extra little that what is that club membership thing?
Membership.
I mean, to be honest, I'm not a big fan of GameStop. So the local retro shops that you actually can go to. A lot of them are really good guys, and I've been lucky enough to meet quite a few really good, fair guys. And in Florida, definitely Royal Empire Gaming was a definitely treat. Last year we met him, and we stopped by this year also. And the owner, his name is Braulio. Definitely gonna give a shout out to those guys. They're awesome. good, fair people. If you're ever in Longwood, Florida, or an Orlando area, it's a little bit of a drive from the Orlando area,
drive away,
but it's definitely worth it. His shop is really nice. He makes most of the space that he has. Nothing is all thrown together. So it's a really fun thing. And if you get a chance, to have an opportunity to stop by retro shops, man, local retro shops, they really kick GameStop's butt. But let's get back to the Afterburner. So you're a big fan of Afterburner because of Top Gun, huh?
Yeah.
Top Gun and Mr. Tom Cruise.
Yeah, not just him. There was Iceman and Goose.
Iceman was played by Val Kilmer. And then he had the other guy who was in Revenge of the Nerds.
Anthony Edwards.
Right? He was in Revenge of the Nerds?
Yes.
He was Lewis?
He was Lewis.
He was Lewis. But
no, actually, he was Gilbert. He was Gilbert.
He was, yes, he was.
Gilbert.
He was. If you guys hear this and you guys like the retro, we're into retro. Everything's retro. We relive retro on a regular basis.
We live still in the 80s.
Yeah, we relive retro as pretty much every day. At home, we watch retro films from the 80s, 90s, 70s, those type of things. Even into 2000s, there's a lot of movies, but we love retro, and that's what we live at. We dress retro. We listen to retro music. Am I right? I mean, and we have a lot of favorites, and Top Gun is definitely not mine personally. I'm not a big Tom Cruise fan. There's a couple
soundtrack. It was a great movie. It made me want to become an airplane pilot at one time.
I should have got the soundtrack for this to play it in the background, right? Anyway, I thought, to be honest, I've always confused Top Gun with the other one, Steal Something, Iron Eagle with the Lloyd Gossett Jr. and that guy. But I guess since Tom Cruise wasn't the star in that one just got thrown to the side. Yeah, we'll leave that alone, right? Yeah. But fast paced, babe. Fast paced. It makes you feel like you're actually in it. You have to not only be able to lock into the enemies that are coming at you, and they're also shooting the. And I just saw a glitch. Did you just saw? I never noticed that before. All right. But I could tell you, I'm just a big fan of just fast-paced action. And you know what's best about this? You know what's honestly best about this? What's best about this is that I love the simplicity of turning on a game
and having it just go on and not have to wait and updates,
like
stuff now.
Tutorials.
Yes.
I hate the tutorials. I'm not a fan of tutorials. Back in the days, I think our games were harder than these games. I don't care what anyone said. I think our generation games, where the actual video game industry really evolved from, I think they're harder than the games that you have now. And the best thing about it is that, one of the big things about it is that I don't want to see reality in my video games. If I want to see reality, you know what? I'll turn on the news, or I'll look out the window and see life as it is.
Most games now, they look so real.
Yeah, I'm just not into that. Hey, if it's for you, good for you. I'm not. And I'm not knocking modern gaming. There's quite a few modern games out there that are pretty cool too, and I like them, but I will always go back to our retro roots. Am I right?
Yep.
I mean, going back from when we were kids, the Atari, huh? Yep. We're Atari kids. That's where we came from.
That's me.
1977. We're Atari kids. I never did have the Magnavox, but we ended up getting a Magnavox recently, right? We've had a Magnavox for a while, but we don't even use it. Yeah, we do. What are you talking about?
That's right.
We have two. We have two Intellivisions. We got the Intellivision 1 and the Intellivision 2. Yeah. The Intellivision 1 has the wood grain to it. But I'm falling away from talking about this awesome, fast-paced monster. Luckily, we were able to take the gameplay a while ago.
Oh, thank God. Because as I said, this game will give you a headache. Do not sit in front of the TV for this game.
Oh, my God.
Try to sit back a little.
And lately we've been playing a couple of the fast-paced, hard games. The Contra series. Those were very, very extremely difficult games. Those are the games that I remember at one time me cursing the names of the creators of the games. Yeah. I mean, I literally wanted to, find out where these guys live just so I could knock on their door and knock them out. I mean, what was the sense of making the game so incredibly difficult?
This one's hard too.
No, you know what?
You know what? You can say that, but the fact is that you can turn it on, press start, and play it. And you know what? You can spend a good 10-15 minutes on it. If you get frustrated, you get off, you come back, and you get better as you go along. You know what I mean? It's just a fun game. And you know what? You know why I think one of the reasons why our games were so hard? Because our games were based on the quarter eating concept.
Oh yeah.
Back in the arcades.
They wanted you to pump them quarters in there.
And this definitely was one of them.
Yes, that was one of them.
You know, the experience. You know what also this game reminded me of, if you remember, back in the arcades, of course, there was the one that you sat in, right? With the stick. But, if you recall, the first one we ever played like that was the Star Wars game.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
The Star Wars game. I love the Star Wars game.
Yeah.
I think the Star Wars arcade is just awesome. We just did a video on it on the 32X, but we played it back in the 80s when it came out.
You're so right.
Why do you have to go there? We are retro. It is what it is. I'm not ashamed of it. It is what it is. But as you can see, you could do loops. You can do loops. You can lock on to different enemies that are coming at you while they're shooting missiles at you. So the missus just stepped away. She had to go to take care of nature. But yeah, I mean, it's just a fun, fast-paced, adrenaline rush beast, and it's just fun. And I'll be honest with you, for the most part, when they're locking on me, I'm pretty much just moving all around with the hope that they don't lock onto me and actually blast me and knock me out of the sky. Fun game. I mean, Sega did some great things. And look at the outrun car. Look at the outrun car. A lot of people don't notice that. That was the outrun car that was there on the road. A lot of people don't notice that. Another great game. I did a video on that also. Played different versions of it. But this is Outrun 2. I mean, Afterburner 2. I'm sorry, got caught up there. This is Afterburner 2. Afterburner 1 was also really a fun game. I actually have that one, that version for the Sega Master System. But when the Genesis came out, they actually, I don't recall them coming out with Afterburner 1, if I'm not mistaken. I know Afterburner 2 was the one that I pretty much picked up on when I got the Genesis, and when the 32X came out, definitely wanted to pick this one up. Very disappointing that the series came out with an Afterburner 3 on the Sega CD, which just, I don't know. I don't know. It's just not this adrenaline rush, extreme, fun blast. And you know what? You can spend about 15-20 minutes playing this, and you have a good time. And again, if it gets frustrating, it is. And the missus is back. The missus is back. Frustrating, but fun. I just love the fast. And you always compare it again to Top Gun.
Hey, when I play this, I think of Top Gun. So.
I mean, I can see that. Yeah. I can definitely see that. But I definitely like to check.
Dog fights, just like you did in the movie.
And you never. I don't even think this game even tells you what who the enemies are.
You just go after whoever they're shooting at you, I guess.
Are we guessing that they're the Middle East? I hate to say that.
I don't know.
It's usually like, that's just the stereotypical bad guy that they put on movies and games and stuff like that, right? But it could be anybody. Nowadays it could be the Koreans, right? The North Koreans, South Korea, whatever it is that we're. Yeah. So, but yeah, fun game. Could you imagine actually sitting in one of these? What do they call these? Tomahawk? What do they call these?
Those
are they tomahawks?
I can't tell.
I'm not sure. But can you imagine actually being in one of these in that gravity, that G-force, right?
No.
Right? I probably have threw up all over myself and all over. I think that they actually have those rides for people who can afford them. They do. They provide those type of things, I think.
Special people.
We definitely got to look to see if they have a flight stick for the Genesis. I don't recall seeing one. Because I'm a big fan of the accessories. I love accessories. To be honest, as far as collecting video games, even though we have an abundance of real software, the actual software of these games, I'm actually stepping back. I mean, I saw a video from one of the guys that I subscribe to, Top Hat, right, the Top Hat Gamer, and he made a lot of sense in the way he put it, that you know, why is he spending all this money on the software when they're so easily accessible through emulation? And you know what? I kind of agree with that. I kind of agree. Even though this is actually our cart, but we've had this cart for a long, long time. But if I were to, this game is easily accessible through emulation. You know, so I don't know. I think I'm stepping back from the actual collecting of the software. What do you think? I like the hardware. Now the hardware is something I like in the accessories, but as far as the I keep flying. I'm trying to see how is it that I'm not crashing into those towers.
Because you're shooting them before you hit them.
No, there was a couple of times I even flew through
I guess it could take a little damage.
No damage. Fun game, man. A lot of practice. A lot of practice. By no means think that I'm an expert at this. By no means. But just a lot of practice, man. But you know what? It's fun. It's fun practice.
Don't eat this on a full stomach because you will get nauseous.
There you go. I love that looping. Don't you like that? There you go. There you go. I love that. So as you can see, you can lock on with your missiles. The C button actually uses the Vulcan. It's like the Vulcan. It's a machine gun. The B and the A button shoot off the missiles. And the XYZ, because we're using right now the 6-button controller, actually controls speed. You can slow it down, you can speed up, and you can do the loops, as you can see. Again, no tutorials.
Nope.
Get in there, turn on the game, and start playing. That's
some of these type of games you have to learn how to fly this freaking plane and everything.
I mean, come on.
And land it.
But that takes away from the fun of it.
It does.
I don't want to go to school to learn how to play a game. I want to turn on the game and start playing the game. You know, the best thing about our old retro systems, no loading, right? Until you got to the PlayStation, of course, and those. And I think the Sega Saturn was a lot faster than the PlayStation when it came to loading. You know, the worst was the Neo Geo console, the Neo Geo CD. That was possibly the worst one. But
there was a lot of stuff to it, that's why.
but prior to that, the Sega CD wasn't that bad. The FMVs weren't too bad. You were a Sewer Shark person on the Sega CD, and we'll be doing a video on that shortly too. And you're gonna knock it out, aren't you? You're gonna show off again, just like you did on Daytona.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, well, you're gonna practice, aren't you? So you know, guys, look out for that. We're gonna do a Sewer Shark CD gameplay and thoughts, and she's the one that's gonna play. So that'll be coming soon. Just a fun game, and graphically the game is nice too. On the 32X, it does look nice. This game looks awesome also on the Sega Saturn. I have it on the Sega Ages cart CD that I have, which also has Space Harrier. Hey, one of yours. Your Space Harrier. And I did the Outrun gameplay review on that. So that one has 3 games, and those 3 games are awesome. So Afterburner's on that also if you have a Sega Saturn, Sega Ages. But again, you can find this emulation everywhere. It's so simple to be emulation. I think we're getting close to the ending on this right now. Because we actually recorded this a long time ago. You know, with work and projects, right? It's been a really busy last 2 months for us. So my passion is definitely to have some time and play some video games. And I just like playing video games. And recently we've been playing, we got the PlayStation Classic in which everybody attacked. As you can see, I got knocked down again. The PlayStation Classic where a lot of people knocked. And I have to admit, it wasn't very impressive when we finally got it. But we were able to get a lot of games onto a flash drive, right? Pretty big flash drive. And we ended up adding a lot of the emulated PlayStation games on it. So Jay will be doing a review of that since he did the previous initial thoughts of it with the original 20 games. So now he'll do one with the added games on the flash drive. So that'll be coming soon also, guys. So I hope you guys stick with us and be patient with us as we're actually working and doing these different videos. But I've been playing Tomb Raider. I've been playing Tomb Raider again.
Yeah.
Lara Croft, the original, 1996. I beat that way back then, and I'm playing it mostly on memory. But I do. Yeah, I still have to like look every now and then, try to get those tips online and stuff like that, because I forget where the little areas are and stuff like that. Because that game is mainly exploring. But I love that game, and I was introduced to. I've never been into, but he introduced to the Medal of Honor games. You know. and playing some Crash Bandicoot also. So yeah, we'll be doing a video on the PlayStation Classic real soon. But Afterburner, man, what else can you really say other than it's a fast-paced, adrenaline rush, fun game, and it's not. I mean, it's simple. Turn it on again. Simplicity at its best. That's what makes retro so awesome. And with the 32X and the Genesis version, there is no loading involved. No loading. So that even makes it even better. Yeah, but I think, yeah, this is about the end right now. If I remember, yeah. Fun game, man. Fun game. But I can see how you can get sick, though.
Oh, my God.
Motion sickness, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's over. It's over. We did it, babe.
Alright.
We did it. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming.
There it is.
And look at it. Graphics are awesome. Come on. Graphics are awesome. Graphics are awesome, man. Fun game. If you guys have played this before, I hope you guys enjoyed our trip on some reminiscing on it. If you haven't, and this is your introduction to it, I hope you guys enjoyed. And if you get a chance, go out there and get them, because it's easily found, it's not expensive, and the emulation is easy. So emulation is easy to get. So really appreciate you guys hanging with us. And as always, we'll always leave with keep it retro, guys. Keep it retro. See you soon.